Every night in America for the last 3 or 4 months, we have had rioting, burning, looting, killing. We've also had some peaceful, lawful, nonviolent protests. These violent protests have not put forward a plan, nor even some ideas that could lead to healing and unity. My text for today is Philippians 2nd chapter, verses 2 and 3. The great apostle Paul, in his writings to new Christian communities, gave much wisdom. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves. Take African slaves, for example. Many of them followed Paul's advice. Many African slaves adapted to their new lives in this new land. Their descendants are here. We have survived and thrived. But some slaves resisted. The resistors have not fared well. They resisted as slaves and were slaughtered. I'm not saying that resistance was good or bad. I'm just saying that their lives and their lineage died with that resistance. I'm real glad that my African slave ancestors chose to adapt rather than resisting. Otherwise, I would not be here today. Some resisted as newly freed men. Those resistors became fewer and fewer. But the adapters, the Booker T. Washingtons, the Frederick Douglasses, the W.E.B. Du Boises, they found the spirit of building, the spirit of cooperation, the spirit of understanding that we are all in the same canoe. And if your end of the canoe sinks, then my end of the canoe sinks also. That spirit of adaptation, which worked so well for so many, that spirit of adapting is being pushed out of our community in favor of a spirit of resistance. But over all of the centuries, over all of the countries of the world, adaptation, blending in, becoming invested in your home nation, adaptation has permitted so many to climb the ladders of opportunity and success. Dr. King, labor leader A. Philip Randolph, Justice Marshall, all preached adaptation, assimilation, integration into the fabric of America. That was their approach to bettering our circumstances in this nation. But today, resistance, separation, segregation has become the sad and unsuccessful fashion in America. By our dress, our music, by our disrespect for authority, by our violence. By each of these, we separate ourselves and we make ourselves unacceptable. You see, getting along means accepting those people, all those different kinds of people, of those people accepting them, but getting along also means being acceptable to those people. You can't let your children run amok in Walmart. You can't drive through other people's spaces loudly playing music that uses the N word, the B word, the H word, the F word, loudly blasting gangster rap into the ears of little old ladies who are mollified by that public display of profanity, and loudly into the ears and hearts of little girls, little 3 and 5 and 8-year-old girls who are trying to grow up into ladies. They shouldn't hear that. You can't let your children become disrespectful, violent thugs who are not acceptable to all of those people who must be acceptable to you in addition to being accepted by you. Bad things happen to minorities who do not adapt. Look at what happened to the Rohingya in Asia, the Muslims in Bosnia, the Kurds in North Syria and South Turkey, the Muslims in China and Russia. These people I'm talking about all had it rough. These Rohingya and Kurds and Muslims, you ought to read about minorities who choose not to adapt. Bad things have happened to those minorities who chose resistance over adaptation. Ultimately, we black folk in America can either become full participants in America, or we can sit on the outside with nothing but poverty and violence and drugs. We can do that, or we can adapt, participate, cooperate, and take our full measure of American opportunity. But instead, right now, we're driving the country into two warring camps. Even the moderate of us, who are reasonable bridge builders, even we moderates, are vilified and hounded because we do not walk in lockstep with either one warring side or the other warring side. Resistance will not, cannot win this war. Now's the time to come forward with plans, ideas, and solutions. The burning, killing, looting, the intimidating of innocent people in their homes, businesses, intimidating old people in their cars just because they're white? No. Now is the time to sit at tables and negotiate a new way, a better way for all of us. Adaptation, cooperation, integration are the way for our future success. Continued resistance is not only unnecessary, it is also futile, without bringing to the table ideas and solutions which get us closer to our goals. This is the perfect time to negotiate the new road for America. And remember that there are many others who feel wounded or abused. Groups, tribes, states, cities. Let's build a new road for America. A road that's fair to everyone. Let's put aside the resistance, put aside the abuses of yesteryear, the real abuses and the imagined ones. Let's put aside the yelling and finger pointing, the burning and looting. Let's sit together and build the new road for America. I would close with Paul's words to the Romans 12th chapter, 9th through 16th verses. I would close with Paul's advice to behave like Christians. Unity was paramount. Unity was topmost in Paul's mind and in his preachings. As we explore the concept of unity, we should be mindful that in a successful marriage, for unity to exist, the husband must adapt to the wife, and the wife must adapt to the husband. Be mindful that in a successful neighborhood, the neighbors must adapt to each other. I can't blast my music at midnight if you have to go to work at 6 in the morning. We must be equally mindful that in a successful nation, the different groups and tribes must adapt to each other. They have to accept each other, and they must make themselves acceptable to each other. Bad things happen to those who choose not to adapt, not to unify. Paul said, "Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectioned to one another, with brotherly love in honor, preferring one another. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer, distributing to the necessity of saints, given to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you, and rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind, one toward the other. Be not wise in your own conceits. Adaptation, integration, unity. Together, let's build a new road for America, a fair road for everyone.
That I have you. So